My goodness. Hello, everybody. I am Sandra Pelly, as some of you very well know, and I am here to speak about September's Q&A. Just kind of stepping into the energy of the Q&A. I'm attempting to find it on my business page so I can share it into one of the groups. So I'm not sure where I'm live, if I'm live. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. So bizarre. It's showing that I'm feeding into two spaces. So hi everybody. Let's take a moment to ground into the energy first of all. So feeling very, very magical right now. And taking a couple breaths. Asking the mind, body, and soul and all aspects of self to be willing to receive and share. Taking a few breaths into that. Stepping into the energy of the I ams and the power of the I am. I am open. No expectations. No limitations. In other words, I am limitless. And I am creating my outcome. Choosing to step into the power of loving oneself. I am love. I am loved. I am loving. I am lovable. I am divine love. We are divine love. Beautiful. Taking a real understanding into each of those pieces as we begin this beautiful journey of the Q&A together. My computer, holy cow. I updated yesterday and it is just so frustrating right now. It's amazing what it's doing to me. My goodness. So let's step into the energy of this. And I'm going to be answering these from questions that people in my Soulful Empowerment group asked, and just feeling the magic of that community. So currently I am all of 3 minutes in. And the first person to ask a question is the beautiful Helena. Wow. I don't know what's going on with my mouse and stuff. Yikes. Ay, ay, ay. I'm attempting. Oh my gosh. There we go. I got it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so thank you guys for your patience right now. Wow. Okay, kind of just stepping into the energy of clearing this wamboozied kind of energy, clearing it for all of us, really offering us a very, very solid platform, a very solid grounding, feeling the energy of tree roots coming in. And yes, we have these beautiful branches and leaves and this incredible swaying with the flow. We're swaying with the flow, allowing ourselves to be in the energy of being in the flow. Much better. Thank you, everybody. So stepping into the power of Helena and her question, what is happening? LOL. Like, really? That couldn't be a more appropriate question. And yet that question was dropped in there a day ago. It's this conscious. Sorry, actually, I'm going to slide backwards for just a second into the question's answer. It's that we are in this flow, and because we are not consciously aware of where we're at or what we're doing, we feel possibly like we're butting our heads up against things. And that's very much energetically what you just witnessed with me right then. And so when you ask the question, Helena, what is happening? We are being bumped by all of this energy. And today is also a massive energy day just because of what's happened in North America, in the United States particular, a long time ago with regards to the 911. It's also my dad's birthday, so I just am choosing to step into that awareness of the magic of my dad versus the energy of all the things that unfolded around 911. So what is happening now? It's choices. It is us making choices of how we want to look at something, how we want to feel into something, and what our next step is in that something. So really being consciously aware versus this unaware and being hit and bombarded by all of this different energy that's going around. So when you ask what is happening, we are being bombarded. We're being bombarded by all kinds of energy, solar flares, all this different energy. We're being bombarded by our families' energy, by friends and acquaintances, by our own community's energy. And so it is a beautiful opportunity to step into, this is how I want to react. This is what I want to focus in on. And really, those two things are super, super important. So thank you for asking that question, because it definitely was very, very, very pertinent to right now. So the next question we have is from Lav. And we are now 7 minutes in. So I'm just kind of bouncing back and forth between these screens. So thank you, everybody. So Lav's question is, what now? So kind of stepping into the energy of what now. What I just answered for Helena is extremely valid for you. It's really kind of recognizing that each of these questions that are being asked here, if something within these answers resonates with you, then take that and run with it, okay? So I'm hearing you say, Lav, what now? There's some really interesting energy around what's occurring for yourself. And it's interesting because there's a couple other people that are experiencing this, people like yourself, people who are spiritual. And when I say that, in the metaphysical world, this awareness of guides and that. And when you ask what now, I'm not sure you're going to like the answer. However, there's this real sense of just being, BEING, just allowing yourself to be in the state of being with an awareness of what wants to come through. When something comes through, whether it's in a conversation like we're having right now, or whether it's something that's dropping into your thoughts, or whether it's an awareness of something out there, maybe in a commercial, it's flipping through a magazine, something pops out at you. It's taking that next step with that. So you might be looking at the mountain and you're being asked to dial it back and just be in the state of being. And when something pops up or pops in, it's in that moment that you're being asked to go, okay, what do I want to do with this? Case in point is, I was on a call yesterday as a participant, and the coach on there said something, and I literally had to go and drop all this information into a different platform, like into AI, and go, what does he mean by this? Because I knew it was with regards to me, but I was just like, there was so much there. And I know that I had said something, but what I had thought I had said versus how this person took it were two entirely different things. And in that, a really incredible opportunity occurred. And so really starting to understand the potential of what that opportunity is now, because I asked in a different way. I wanted to understand it in a different way. So that's kind of what, when you say what now, Lev, It is this beautiful awareness of being okay to be in the state of being because of the things that have occurred recently in your life. Many people are going through this right now, and allowing room or an awareness for what is dropping in so that you can then take that next small step around that and see what wants to come up. Very, very powerful. Thank you so much, Lav. So Lisa's the next one. And I love this because you guys are all asking, the same kind of question, and I'm literally answering it in different ways. So there's a really unique power here of different perspectives coming up. Okay. So Lisa asks where to go from here. Wow. So again, like the last person asked what now, the person before asked what's happening, and now where to go from here. Well, it's that, um, you know, okay, so stop and take a breath, first of all. There's the first clue, Lisa, is literally stop and take a breath. And allow it to unfold before you. It's really interesting because I actually see three paths in front of you, and I can feel how I don't. There's a couple different analogies I'm using here. That it's a lizard's head, and I can see the tongue unrolling so that you can catch something, or I can see the for lack of better words, I can see the carpet unrolling so that you can walk on it. And this one here is kind of befuddled. And there's lots of interesting words coming up today in this call. And when I say befuddled, it's because this one is so much the lizard's tongue. This one's so much the carpet. And yet this one is unrolling, and I'm not really sure what it's made of. And it's interesting because the lizard's tongue are the things that are from the past. It's the things that maybe you're holding on to, maybe you're letting go, maybe you've eaten. And you understand the word eaten is not necessarily to what you are putting into your mouth and eating. It is the things that you've accepted into the energy of who you are. And then this carpet piece is very much the present energy and that unrolling it. And now I can feel how the sweeping of breadcrumbs or the sweeping of material off of this carpet, cleaning up this carpet is occurring because of the shedding the skin, shedding of the understanding of the things that you've eaten, etc. And then coming into this third one is this sense of renewing, this sense of, oh, okay, thank you. So what came up the other day is I sent out an email and it was all about trust. It's actually titled Trust. And I mentioned two things in there, two YouTube channels that my husband and I watch. One is the Global Mountain Biking Network, and the other one is the Flex Rocks and Roll. And the level of trust that the people in these calls have to have for one another is massive. And so I always bring that back to myself. Okay, what is my level of trust in myself? So that's what you're really being asked to witness in that future piece. So past, present, and future are these three pieces that are unrolling. That future piece is having faith in everything's going to be okay, having trust in the things that you're capable of doing, or having trust in that that something around the energy of trusting yourself, trusting your judgment, trusting yourself in a way maybe that you never have before. Okay. Yeah, there's big things happening and shifting. So trusting yourself. That was really an interesting question and answer. Thank you so much, Lisa. Really interesting. Okay, so the next question in here is the beautiful Maria. And I love her question. It's kind of going off in a little bit of a different tangent. So let me just put this here first. So Maria asks, what did it feel like to publish your first book, and how does that feel now? So that first book is this book up here, a spiritual how-to. And how does it feel now? I think I have it right here too. Yeah. There it is there, a spiritual how-to. And thank you for asking about that, Maria. So how did it feel to publish my first book? First of all, the book was written with a very specific purpose. when I began my spiritual journey, there was no go-to book for me to understand the simple steps in taking my spiritual journey. And so that's why I wrote this book, A Spiritual How To. It literally lays down, the mantras that I use, the things that I did, the expectations and limitations that I was putting on myself. And it walks you through, it walked me through, first of all, it walked me through. And I think that's possibly one of the things that you're asking about is in publishing the first book, what was the purpose of that as well? Well, it was my journey, and I'm putting my journey out there on display to help others walk their way through their spiritual journey. And how did that feel? It felt really good to be able to empower other people in their spiritual journey. And that's ultimately what my mission is to assist 1 million women empower themselves. So when you say, what did it feel like to publish your first book and how does that feel now? It felt really, it kind of had me step into the energy of, first of all, I wrote the book in 3 months. And it was from the year that I experienced in 2017. It was because of that year that, I wanted to figure out a spiritual how to. And I put that question out there, and that's what unfolded in that next year and became the book, right? And I wrote it in 3 months in 2018. And when I published it, it felt really, really good to be able to go, whew, I've figured out to some degree how to live a spiritual life. And those practices I'm still using to today and onward. So 7 years now, right? And it feels really good. It feels really good to have this out there for those people who are looking for literally a spiritual how to. Like, I honestly typed that into search engines when I began my journey, a spiritual how to. So thank you for asking that question, Maria. Incredible. Okay, so next question. I love this next question because it feels really pertinent to something that I'm going through as well. So Sue is asking, why is this health issue happening for my husband and how do we navigate through it? So why is this health issue happening for my husband? I'm going to use myself as an example. 12 and a half weeks ago, I injured myself. The part of that injury has already healed. The other part is going to be a how does this want to come through? I'm not manifesting things, but I have an awareness of the length of time that might be involved with the rest of this injury. Okay, and for myself, it was really looking at what did I need to know about this, and for myself. All my injuries seem to be happening on my right side for the most part. And also, too, I went through a very long period, which actually happens to be in that A Spiritual How To book. I believe it's the back page or two where I've listed 33 different injuries, right? And then I went for, I think it was like 3 years without an injury. And then I went for 5 years without a real injury. And so I'm lengthening the time because the lessons learned in those were very, very powerful. And I've always asked, what is the lesson in this, right? So for me, this lesson for myself right now is doing things differently, taking a different perspective of it and shifting into this in a different manner. So that's why this health issue has come up for myself right now. So there's two things going on for you, Sue, with you and your husband and his health issue. One is there's a learning curve here, a lesson or something that's definitely happening for your husband. And there is another separate one that is happening for you. And how do you navigate through that? It's just like if something was going on with my husband, then how am I navigating through that? If there's something going on with the parents, I know there's definitely something going on with my mom. There's definitely stuff going on with my husband's parents. And so it's how are we navigating through that? What are we learning by these health issues that somebody else is experiencing? And how do we navigate through that? My fallback is always the two mantras. It's the I am open and the I am love. That I am open mantra, like right now, like I'm privy to a little bit about this health issue. So stepping into the energy of being open with no expectations and no limitations is massive, because that really helps both of you to move through it. When you let go of your own expectations and your own limitations around his health issue, it really helps you to move through it, both of you through it, because ultimately it's his, you're on the outside of that to whatever degree. And I understand that technically you're not on the outside of it because it's your partner, but it's really understanding that you ultimately don't know every thought that's running through his head. And so being open with no expectations and no limitations around that is very, very powerful, because it lets him experience it in whatever manner he needs to in this space. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I could go on and on and on about that, because it's a really massive, massive piece. So yeah. Okay. Hi to those who have joined me live. This is the September Q&A. The questions are literally coming from my Soulful Empowerment group. And I'm sharing them out here with you guys, because the answers to these questions are super powerful for each and every one of you, and may really speak to where you are at this moment. So thank you for being here. And it's 21:21 right now on my side with the video. So my next question to this in the Q&A is, what does Spirit want me to know? And then the person, Joan, this is Joan, she says, thank you so much in advance for your help. What does Spirit want me to know? So I'm just kind of feeling into the energy of this. And the first thing that, the first phrase that comes through is, know you are enough. Know that you are enough. And almost like, thank you, guys. I am being directed to not wax poetic around that, and for you to recognize in my saying you are enough, that it is enough. Thank you, Joan. Whew. That was interesting. Kind of like this halt, this real halt on it there, right? So the next person with this is Alejandra. And Alejandra asks, what does Spirit want me to know? I'm loving this. This is like this. Isn't this what the person before said? What does Spirit want me to know? And I guess that's why I needed to come to the next person, because it's the same question. The first one, Alejandra, first of all, is that you are enough. And there's something energetically happening with family members right now, and it feels very much not like it's past energy, but it feels very much about how you're looking at a current day situation and how that might affect your future self. So it seems to me that it's a very specific thing that is going on. And so even in my saying this, ideally it's dropping in for you. And in recognizing that specific thing, it's how do you want to react? That's what's coming through. You are enough, and how do you want to react? Because that's going to affect the future. Okay. You are enough, and how do you want to react? Beautiful. Thank you. And then the last question that I have in my Soulful Empowerments feed is from the beautiful Zila. And it is, what do I need to know about how my clients should find me? I really like this question. What do I need to know about how my clients should find me? I'm going to give you an industry answer first. The industry answer is putting yourself out there in other groups. And it doesn't mean, oh, here I am, come buy the things that I offer. It's more about putting yourself out there in a supportive role in other groups. So if you are in other groups that are, that that house your clients, then, and when I say house your clients, you recognize in the people in that community, in those groups, in those Facebook groups, or whatever other groups they are, You recognize these people as being potential clients. And so playing a supportive role in those groups is super powerful. I am really witnessing that myself right now with the opportunity that I was given to be in a supportive role. And it's 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 really helping people to see me in a different light. So instead of coming in and selling, what I'm doing is I'm coming in and offering support. And in the people seeing how that support is being offered, the support that it is, the words that I use, that they are finding value in that support that way. And then from there, they're reaching out as well. So that's kind of like the industry answer that's coming through first, Zila, is that what do I need to know about how my clients should find me? It's being in groups. And I think that's probably one of the most possibly not necessarily overused terms, but it is definitely one of the most common things is get into other people's groups and be in a supportive role, right? And then on the days that they do offer posts that you can promote yourself, then you're promoting yourself, okay? So what does Spirit, though, want you to know? What do I need to know about how my clients should find me? What do I need to know? Speaking from the heart is what comes through immediately. Speaking from the heart, trust in that you are so capable, like really trusting that capability. And when you are working with current clients, I love the energy of what's happening here. Okay, thank you so much for this question, Zila. So there's something very powerful in this. I can't use that arm. See? Oh, so something just happened there. I moved the energy with my right side, which is an injured side right now. For me, a couple questions back about the spiritual how-to. No, it was actually the one that Sue asked about injuries or health. What is the lesson there? The lesson goes deeper, right? You were asking, how do my clients find me? I was just using my right side, which was my old way of doing things. So really recognizing the old way of doing things is no longer working and allowing yourself to shift into this new way of thinking. So I had a huge aha moment 2 years ago when I shifted from this is what I'm selling, this is what I'm selling, this is what I'm selling, to offering from my heart. When I shifted into that offering from my heart instead, I changed. I evolved in that moment. And it became so much easier to um, um, not necessarily promote myself, but to be in this supportive space where this authentic self is shining through in a whole different manner. What else wants to come through with this? It's that word faith. It's that word trust. All like everything that I've said today, I would love for you to go back and listen to this whole recording up to now, Zila, because your answers are in this whole call today. It truly is. Okay. Very, very powerful. Thank you so much for your question. Oh, hi, Zila. You're here watching Serendipity. Yes. Yeah. So I just, there's 25 minutes of call of this call before now, 28 minutes now, Zila. Go back and listen to this whole recording because it's so powerful for you. And every, I always often say that when you are listening to a call like this, and you know where I got this from to begin with, one of our previous mentors, that listen to the answers of the other people because it's likely that the answers are there for you as well. And that's really what I'm getting through this entire call, is that every single one of these answers was really meant for you as well. Okay. Very, very powerful. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Zila, let's have a chat soon. We'd love to see where you're at, what you're doing. And everybody have a magical, magical day. Okay. Learn to lean into trusting yourself. That's what I want to leave you with. Be willing to lean into trusting yourself, trusting your judgment, trusting your abilities. Lean into that. Okay, everybody? Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.